Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. We're starting today's video with a Karen who thought traffic laws didn't apply to her until karma came rolling in on a tow truck. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with a turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. She screamed at me for following the rules, then lost her car. Last Sunday, after a small dinner party at one of my relatives' house, it was about time to go home. That night, I took my mother home as it was on the route to mine. At one point, we turned right into a one-way street before arriving. That's when a wild Karen in a red Toyota appeared. As it turns out, I had to hit the brakes hard enough as she almost face plants her car into mine, so to speak. Yet she honks frantically, flips me off, and yells something at me, which I couldn't distinguish because I had my window shut. My mother and I were like, WTF, as that woman drove off. That Karen was brave, or fool enough, to go the wrong way, almost colliding with us, and even throwing insults. We eventually arrived at my mother's house, shaking our heads at the scenario we just had. Today I went to my mother's place again as we were to pick up one of my nephews to the hospital because of a harsh fever, and on the exact same corner I saw the same Karen, but this time yelling at the repo dude as her car was towed. I recognized the same red Toyota car that almost rammed into us because its left rearview mirror was one of the countless cases of, if you can't fix it with duct tape, you ain't using enough duct tape. After picking up my mother, she got me the gossip that the Karen woman recently moved around that area and was rather known for being rude and violent to pretty much every neighbor under the sun. Her car was towed because someone needed to leave for work. Her car was blocking the driveway, and she didn't give a damn about moving it out of the way. I just concluded and told my mother, treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. And the fact that she wasn't just an aggressive driver, but also a nightmare neighbor really seals the deal. Like, how do you roll into a new neighborhood and immediately make enemies with everyone? That's talent. Evil talent, but talent nonetheless. And our second story. A customer attacked my car because I wouldn't help on my break. Just a little background. I'm a cashier at a small grocery store. I work the day shift as close to full-time as my store allows, basically 5 days per week, 6 to 7 hour shifts. For shifts that are 6 hours or less, we only get one 15-minute break, which I usually spend chain smoking on the picnic table behind the building that management has so kindly provided for us, usually chatting with coworkers who are also on break or playing with my phone. For 7+ hour shifts, we get a half-hour lunch break, unpaid. These I spend in my car eating a light lunch, listening to music, reading a book, and, well, chain smoking with my shoes off, seat reclined a little, sucking up as much relaxation as 30 minutes will allow. The reason I sit in my car for my longer breaks is because I do not like anyone bugging me or even watching me while I eat. We don't have a break room, we only have a single table that employees and customers use out in the open near the restroom doors. I've tried it, didn't like it one bit. It's an anxiety thing. I guess coupled with insecurities about my bad teeth. Regardless of my reasons, I like to eat alone and I love to read. I really enjoy my half-hour lunch breaks alone. I kind of feel like my car is my embassy when I'm in it. I'm on my own turf. The stress of the retail day cannot touch me in that little 30-minute window of zoned-out bliss. I also should note that while we do not have a designated employee parking area, most of us park in the little lot off to the side of the store, leaving the front for customers. So today on my lunch, I'm reclined in the passenger seat of my car with my feet up on the dashboard, my sunglasses on, a spinach salad propped on my lap, a fork in my right hand, and a good book in my left, and I'm happily munching away, lost in my own little world, when an older 50s, 60s lady storms up to my window, which was down because, as I may have mentioned, I chain smoke. Without even a hello or excuse me, she says, "Hey you! The plastics machine in the recycle area is full or jammed or something. You need to go fix it." I swallowed the food that was in my mouth, shaking my head. I even tried to smile. "Ma'am, I'm on my lunch break." "I'm not even on the clock right now." "Oh, give me a effing break. You're at work. Your name tag is right there." And she tried reaching into my car to touch the name tag that hovers on my left boob. I jerked back, almost spilling my salad and dropping my book. Lost my page, damn it. Whoa, do not touch me. I'm not working right now. As you can see, I'm eating in my car on my time. If you just pop your head into the store and ask any associate for help, they'll page a maintenance worker to fix the problem. I wouldn't even know how to fix the recycle machines. Again, I tried to smile, but with a raised eyebrow, like a nothing else I can tell you, sorry kind of look. I picked up my book and started to put up my window, trying to signal the end of this conversation. As I did so, this lady flaps her arms dramatically and yells, "Oh, so you're not going to help me?" Just another lazy crap, and she grabbed and twanged my car's radio antenna. I instantly went into "oh hell no" mode, and I yelled, "You're gonna mess with my car?" And I tried jumping out, but my car doors auto-lock when the keys engaged, so I was locked in. It probably looked hilarious. My struggling to get out of my own car to call this old bat out on touching my car. Of course, she took off when she saw how pissed I was. I just cut my break short and went inside and instantly told my supervisor what happened. She actually said, "Oh, hell no." LOL. Anyway, she sent me back out for my last 10 to 15 minutes because a punched-out lunch has to be 30 minutes. I sat in my driver's seat and just smoked a couple cigarettes. The whole situation had me nervous and uneasy. Before I went back inside, I moved my car around to the front where I could see it through the windows, just in case this crazy lady decided to do something worse. I went back in and got back on my register. It was pretty dead, so my supervisor came over, asked me if I was okay. She noticed that I moved my car, said it was a good idea, etc., and we were generally saying things like, "What kind of person thinks it's okay to touch someone's vehicle?" And "Of course you can't work off the clock," etc. As we were talking about it, the crazy lady approached my lane to check out. I'm sure she either heard what we were saying or just knew what we were talking about. She refused to even look at me. She just asked my supervisor, "Can you ring me up instead?" with a sarcastic B-word tone. So they went to the service desk and completed a small sale in absolute stone silence, and the old bat left without further incident. My supervisor came up to me and told me she used her store card, so I know her name and contact info. If anyone F's with your car, you let me know. No, nothing actually happened to my car, but it was nice to know my supervisor has my back. Also, really, who does that? I would never attempt to mess with someone's car because I can't have instant gratification during a temper tantrum. My car is by no means fancy. It's a 16-year-old Ford with some rust spots in desperate need of a tune-up/oil change. But I'm a broke single mom who would be seriously effed if something happened to my only means of transportation, so I take threats against it very seriously. Why would anyone think it's okay to touch your property, let alone hover their hand near your breasts? What a horrible person. Customers have no sense of personal space. If I was your supervisor, I would have just refused your service. I don't like it when employees who aren't paid to take the yelling get yelled at. And our last story. My driveway isn't a public walkway, but apparently Karen thinks it is. I live in a large housing estate, and my house is right at the entrance, making it the first property people pass when entering or exiting. My driveway sits next to a small grassy area where people walk their dogs, kids play, and neighbors gather. That would all be fine, except for one major problem. For some reason, people have decided that my driveway is a shortcut. Every single day, people cut straight across my property like it's a public walkway. And I mean everyone. Dog walkers, joggers, parents with strollers, even a guy with a blind cane nearly walked straight into my car. And I'm not just being paranoid. I've almost hit multiple people. Today alone, I reversed into my driveway and nearly ran into 2 dog walkers and 3 kids. My husband had it even worse. He almost hit a blind man who was cutting through our driveway. I have no problem with the grassy area being a community space. I get it. That's what it's for. But my driveway? It's not a footpath. Now, most people at least pretend to be oblivious when cutting across our driveway, but not Karen. Karen is the most entitled person in this estate. She doesn't just use our driveway, she uses our backyard. Yes, our backyard. At least once a week, I'll be standing in my kitchen sipping my coffee, and there she is, casually strolling through our private backyard with her dog like she owns the place. So one day, we finally confronted her. My husband and I walked outside and politely asked if she could stop cutting through. Karen, it's been a common area before you even moved in. Me, it's our backyard. Karen, well, everyone else is fine with it. That was the moment I realized she truly believes my property belongs to the entire neighborhood. After yet another close call with a group of kids running across our driveway, my husband decided to take the issue to the community Facebook group. He posted something polite but firm, explaining that we've almost hit multiple people. Our driveway is not a public path. For safety reasons, we're asking people to stop using it. Cue the backlash. The comments flooded in almost immediately. Oh, come on, it's just a shortcut. What's the big deal? You should be looking before reversing anyway. Maybe you should build a fence if it bothers you so much. I've been walking across that driveway for years. And my personal favorite, if you don't want people walking there, maybe don't live in the first house on the estate. Seriously? I didn't realize that buying a house meant giving up ownership of my driveway and backyard. After reading the absurd responses in the Facebook group, my husband and I knew exactly what we had to do. We hired a contractor and built a fence. And we didn't stop at just the backyard. We extended it right along the driveway with a nice, clear, private property, no trespassing sign posted in plain sight. The first day the fence went up, Karen stood in front of it, glaring, arms crossed like she'd just been personally betrayed. Karen, well, this is ridiculous. Me, smiling. I know, I can't believe we had to go this far just to stop people from trespassing on private property. Karen, you just made things harder for everyone. Me. Oh no, I made things safer for everyone. Since then, not a single person has cut through our driveway. I think the fence was the best solution. It's literally the only way to have privacy. Otherwise, people would never stop trespassing, especially Karen, who's just made to wreak havoc on neighborly relationships. You also did it for the safety of those around you. Having so many dangerous moments in one day is just crazy. Anyway, great job, OP. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.